Hello all and welcome to another edition of Random Reviews, and today I'm going to talk about Star Trek Beyond. And I know I'm a little bit late in actually reviewing this. It's just how it's worked out, to be honest, lately. I think it's came out 2 weeks ago, I think it was, and this is me just finally going to see it. And my usual kind of style of my reviews, I'll just quickly talk about it and give my pros and my cons, and I'll keep a little bit of the spoilers more for later. I'll try my best not to spoil things, but truth be told, it has been out for a good bit, and I would imagine if you're a huge fan, you'd probably would already go see the film, I would imagine. So, just talk about roughly about the cast first of all, and I must say in this film, I think, you know, we're on the third one now with this new franchise, and I think you can really kind of tell that. This is I think, for me personally now, these characters are just at their best, and I think the actors are really just know their characters. They may be, but if I'm honest, if I'm going to be truthful, and I know he just passed away, and I know it sounds bad, but Chekhov just does nothing for me. If I'm honest, I find him kind of, but I've always kind of found that character, even in the original ones, I've always kind of felt him about kind of a little, even Uhura in this kind of film, I find a little bit kind of oddly side glanced a little bit, but overall, I still think this cast is a very strong cast, because I'm not gonna lie, in the previous two I wasn't a huge Chris Pine fan. I still just wasn't kind of getting him for me personally, but I think this one he really makes it now. Right, this is the character that he is and should be and will be now for at least not the fourth one apparently is happening. But yeah, I think this cast now is very very good, and can you tell that Simon Pegg written this film, because he's in it quite a good bit in this film. Like, I think he made sure he was in this film quite a good bit, but I'm not complaining because I do like him in the film, if I'm honest. And obviously the villain is played by Idris Elba, which you might not know, frankly, because he's done so much heavy makeup for quite a lot of it, and he's even quite hard to understand, actually, if I'm honest. Like, I don't know if he's putting an accent on or if it's just the teeth he's wearing. It looks like he's actually struggling just to speak in general. I don't really know, but obviously they add in, he does the sound anyway after it, but it still seems quite, I'm not really too sure, if I'm honest. But yeah, strong cast that we have here, and we also got a new director, which I think was very much needed, because no more lens flares, which I am so happy about, because I really just do not care for lens flares whatsoever. I quite like J.J. Abrams, but the lens flares just annoy me with a passion. It's it's unreal for me. But and the story of the film, you see in the trailers, basically Starfleet get this distress kind of thing, signal that they have to go to this planet to find and try and get this, help this kind of crew that's out there. And while that happens, this swarm attacks them, and then they get deserted on this planet. And it's good. I quite I like the story. It's very, like, the film very much feels like if it was just a normal TV show from the original series, but with a budget of a movie of nowadays, and I quite like that, you know. And I really much enjoyed most of this film, if I'm honest. And I'll get on to my positives right now. As I just said there, that I really did enjoy this film, and for me, I'm not a Trekkie, if I'm honest. I'm not known much of the mythology of Star Trek, if I'm honest. I just enjoy more of the films. I've not really watched much of the TV shows. Next Generation, maybe yes, because I do quite like Patrick Stewart. But overall, I couldn't tell you much of Star Trek. My father is more of the Star Trek fan. He knows more of the names and all that. I don't really know the names well, but I am more of a sci-fi guy, so I do enjoy that kind of that niche. I don't know what word I'm trying to think of there, but I like that kind of more way. But overall, yeah, I enjoyed. Like, I think this is a great cast. The visuals are great. The actual planet that we're in, I thought some nice designs and little touches. I thought there was in it, and little kind of like things that happen in the planet that, like, Spock and McCoy Bones like finds and all, I quite like, and I very much enjoyed it. And I know, like, a lot of people complained about the motorbike and, like, how does that get involved, and I'm not going to spoil how, but all I'm going to say is, like, it kind of makes sense, really. Like, why there's a motorbike for me personally. I don't really mind it. I know that there's going to be Trekkies that'll have problems with it. I don't really care, if I'm honest. I think it looks perfectly fine in the film. If you're going to complain about a motorbike, frankly, in a sci-fi film filmed with space and aliens and travel through space in seconds and, you know, laser guns, if you're going to have a problem with a motorbike, that's your fault, frankly. For me personally, I don't know. I don't really. I think there's worse things to complain about, and I'll go on to that with my cons, which, if I'm honest, I'm kind of struggling with. I think, truth be told, I think this has been quite a terrible year of the kind of summer blockbuster kind of type films, because I feel like every film has just been like almost just offensive to the human mind of what we're apparently supposed to like nowadays, and it's really just like I just do not care for most of the films that are coming out at all, frankly, this year, really. But then you get a film like this, and I'm looking at like the box office, and I'm kind of worried how this film seems to be quite struggling making the money. I don't think it really is just this film alone. I think there's many films this year that's been struggling. Ghostbusters look like another one like that. Independence Day 2 looked like another one like that. I think many films like that, simply because I think there's so many films. Not everyone's got enough money to keep going to see films all the time, to be honest. Even though I'm sure a lot of folk would like to, but I don't think it's just that. I think people are kind of a bit fed up, I think, with a lot of the kind of films we're getting nowadays. Overall, I'm kind of waffling on there, sorry. But overall, my kind of cons that I have with the film is Idris Elba is a little bit, if I'm honest. I think he is a bit poorly underused a little bit for me, kind of, because truth be told, you could have just had like the Darth Vader situation where it was just almost a stunt double, really, underneath the mask with this great voice over it, you know. It could have just been really that. I don't feel like why Idris Elba had to be in that outfit and all that, because I don't get a unbelievably powerful. Because see, to be honest, I think his best performance was when he was literally near enough you could see him as Idris Elba near the end, if I'm honest. I just spilled that bit there that he changes. Not doing well there, but you know, overall, you know, I don't have many problems with this film. And right, I will say now, this is going to be a bit of a spoiler, because I do want to kind of talk about this, because I did quite like this, but actually, to be honest, this is going back to the pros, but I want to go into spoilers a little bit here. So if you don't want to hear spoilers, just turn off, because this will probably be it. But there is a nice wee nod at the end of the original crew. There's a wee photo, which I thought was very nice and very sweet, because you find obviously the old Spock died, which I thought was all very nicely done, because now I think, for me, that's it. That's none of the cakes now. The first one did a heavily, second one there was the most pointless cameo of Spock, I thought, personally, but and then the third one, I think, just ends it really nicely, and hopefully now, I think this is it now, that's it done, hopefully, for me, and I think that would be quite suitable. So, yeah, that's my kind of gist of the film. I very much enjoyed the film. I think you should go see it as well. I think, you know, especially compared to the films that we've got right now, it looks like that one is actually enjoyable and not, frankly, a pain in the head, really. Yeah, I very much enjoyed it. Tell me what you think. Comment down below. Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? You know, tell me what you think of what you thought of the film. Some more videos in the future, hopefully coming up soon. So until then, see you later.